The smell of bacon and coffee clung to Lila's uniform as she cleared the last table of the night. It had been another long shift at Dawson's Diner, a place that had once felt like home, but now felt like a trap. The pay was barely enough, the tips inconsistent, and the owner, Roy Dawson, made it clear that his employees were disposable. It happened just as she was about to clock out. A man in a dusty work jacket stepped through the door. He looked exhausted, the kind of tired that settled into a person's bones. His steel-toed boots tracked mud on the linoleum floor. Lila recognized him instantly. James Carter, a local contractor who had been helping rebuild a section of the town's community center after a storm tore through it. He hesitated near the counter, glancing toward the closed sign Roy had just flipped over. "Sorry, bud. We're done for the night," Roy grunted without looking up. Lila caught the way James's shoulders dropped, the way his stomach seemed to tighten with hunger. She knew that look. She knew that look. She knew that look. It was the same one she'd borne too many nights when payday was still a week away. "I can throw something together," she said quickly, moving behind the counter. Roy's head snapped up. "Did you not hear me, Lila?" "We're closed. It's just a sandwich, Roy. I'll make it fast." James hesitated. "I don't want to be a bother." "You're not," Lila assured him, already grabbing a plate. Roy stepped forward, his face turning red. "You're done. Get out." Lila froze, a cold chill running through her despite the warmth of the kitchen. "Wait, what? What?" "You're fired," Roy said, loud enough to make sure the whole place heard. "If you don't like my rules, you can work somewhere else." Lila's mouth went dry. James started to protest, but she put a hand up, shaking her head. "It's fine," she said, though it wasn't. She untied her apron, tossed it onto the counter, and turned to James. "Come on, I know another place that'll serve you." And just like that, she walked out into the night, her heart pounding. Lila barely slept. Anger burned through her as she lay awake in her tiny apartment, staring at the ceiling. She had given years to that diner, covering shifts, staying late, dealing with Roy's constant belittling. And for what? To be tossed aside for showing a little kindness? By morning, her frustration had hardened into something else, determination. She scrolled through job listings, but her heart wasn't in it. The diner had been her world, and now it felt like Roy had taken everything. But maybe she could take something back. She picked up her phone. "Hey James, I have an idea." The next day, Lila walked past Dawson's Diner with a purpose. A now hiring sign hung in the window. Good luck with that, she thought. Word had spread fast about what Roy had done, and people weren't happy, she smiled. 2 doors down, in a space that had been vacant for months, a new sign was going up. Lila's place coming soon. James had made a few calls. Turns out the owner of the empty cafe space had been eager to rent it out. And with James's crew offering to renovate it at a fraction of the cost, it was happening. Fast. Within a week, Lila stood behind her own counter, taking orders from the very people who used to crowd into Dawson's Diner. And the best part? They weren't just here for the food. They were here because they believed in something bigger, a place that welcomed everyone. Lila glanced across the street. Roy stood outside his diner, his arms crossed, watching his customers. His former customers streamed into her place. She met his eyes and smiled. He had taken her job. She had taken everything else, and it had all started with a simple act of kindness.